I want to share with you probably my biggest learning throughout my trading career, and I believe this is the only way to profitability. Alright traders, first of all, welcome to the Trading Fanatic channel. Iliya here. This channel is all about making you the best version of a trader you can be by equipping you with the right knowledge, mindset, tools, and pretty much keeping it real, because the trading industry is getting a little bit fluffy, so we want to keep it real. Okay? So back to the topic. Now, as I told you, I am usually a perfectionistic trader, so when I got into trading, I really wanted to learn everything that there is about trading, get into all the knowledge, learn all the tools, learn all the indicators. I devoured baby pips, and then pretty much I started reading all the books, all right? And I went on this journey of learning how to trade. Then after I saw that books don't work, that baby pips didn't work, I started getting into mentors, and then I thought that if I study from all the mentors out there, from all the YouTube channels out there, and if I eventually learn everything there is about trading and somehow combine it together, that it's gonna work out. And that is the biggest thing that has slowed down my progress a lot. Because it literally put me on an internal journey of just learning. But there always comes a time, right, where you just have to go in the market and make money from what you actually learned. But then at that time, you're already addicted to learning. So when you maybe jump into the market a little bit, maybe you take a loss or two, you always go back to learning because you always think that you have to learn more in order to become better and more profitable, which is absolutely not the case. So what ends up happening, which is the first trap that I'm going to share with you in this video, is that again, you learn something, then you go into the market, you maybe take a couple of trades, there are losses of course, and then you think that you need more knowledge, so you go back on YouTube, you get another mentor, you start learning again, and that process repeats over and over again. And this is pretty much that strategy hopping syndrome. You learn a strategy, you maybe backtest for a little bit, you go live, you take a couple of hits, you think that the strategy doesn't work, and then you pretty much go back again. Learn a strategy, repeat until the end, learn a strategy again, repeat until the end, and that is what is keeping a lot of traders into that cycle of doom. Now, in my personal case, I didn't really do that strategy hopping, although I was learning a lot. It came a time that I really resonated with an approach, so I actually started sticking to it. But here comes the second mistake that I made that I also want to, of course, transfer onto you so you can avoid it. I got obsessed with preparation, backtesting, paper trading, forward testing, preparing my trading plan, getting everything clear before I get into the market. And guess what? That put me on an eternal preparation on actually getting into the market and making money. Now, here is why this is so important. Does paper trading, backtesting, preparing, forward testing, and like doing all these exercises really help you to become a profitable trader? I personally think no. And I just want to humbly admit that I was wrong in the past, because I always preach that you have to backtest, you have to paper trade, you have to prepare, you have to demo trade, you really have to put in that preparation. But this is just me with my flawed mindset speaking, of course, and giving that advice. So again, I was wrong. Maybe I'm wrong again, who knows? But I've been blinded by my expectation of perfection, thinking that everything has to be perfect until I get into the market and actually start trading. I need to get those proper backtesting results. I need to spend 6 months paper trading. I need to spend 6 months forward testing. I need to spend 6 months demo trading. And when the hell are you actually going to go in the market and trade and learn from the market? Now, let's face it. Have you ever replicated your backtesting or forward testing performance onto the live market? Very likely not. I have done tons of hours of backtesting, right? And it was all good, it was all profitable, but then I jump live and it's fully different, okay? So the first rule is that you can never replicate your backtesting performance onto the live market. And there are gonna come the traders right now that are gonna say, okay, my strategy is 100% mechanical, okay? So whatever I do on backtesting, I'm gonna do live. It's just simply not gonna work. right? That's the nature of the market. What has happened in the past, all right, it has worked, but what is going to be happening right now in the present and also in the future is going to be different. And just because you had good results in the past by backtesting does not guarantee that those same things are going to happen in the future. And that is that backtesting fallacy that we all go through, that if we have a profitable backtest, we're going to be profitable live. And that is just simply not the case. So you might say that backtesting is more or less that data gathering. Okay, but it's fake data gathering, because you gather that data on backtesting and then you go live and you get smashed. And when you get smashed, you think that, okay, I need to gather more data about the strategy, I need to improve. So guess what? You go back to backtesting. And then you backtest a little bit, you start feeling a little bit good about yourself, but then you go back in the market and you again get smashed, you get slapped, and guess what? You go back to backtesting. And this is also the second trap. Like the first trap was pretty much strategy hopping, so learning something, testing it out, and then going back to learn something else. But then the second trap I went through is this backtesting trap. Backtesting, getting some good results, and then of course going live in the market and getting maybe a few losses here and there. And I was like, okay, I'm not really ready. Go back to backtesting. Go back to live trading. Take a couple of hits, backtesting, and that constant cycle kept repeating. So let me ask you something. What causes you to reflect and learn? It's pretty much your emotions, and it's mainly your pain, all right? Now, when you're backtesting, you don't really get any pain. When you're demo trading, when you're paper trading, when you're forward testing, like just plotting your buy and sell tools on TradingView, you don't have emotions. Because when you lose that trade, you just sweep it under the carpet, or when you're backtesting, you're gonna say that, okay, this is part of the data, okay? But that does not train you to be a live trader, to actually go live in the markets and deal with what the live markets are going to do to you. So when you're doing those things like backtesting and paper trading, you're simply not having emotions. So you are not forced to improve. Because again, your lowest moments in trading are going to be when you blow a real account, when you take real losses, and at those lowest moments is when pretty much there is only upside. And if you pretty much apply the principles that I've taught you in the previous video on how to deal with losses, you balance it out, you reflect on those things, that is how you are going to improve. Because true learning happens when you go through pain, when you go through real losses. When you go through down moments, that is when you're really slapped in the face. Again, I really love this quote because the market is constantly going to slap you until you learn your lesson. And you are going to try to learn your lesson when you actually have something on the line. Either that being a challenge account that you took or a live account, and it doesn't matter how big or small it is, even the smallest amount of live money that you deposit in the live markets and you maybe lose, like a 0.01 lots, it is still emotional. It is still going to, at the end, cause you to ask very simple questions. Why did I lose? I don't like this loss. Why did I lose? What could I have done better? How can I avoid this loss the next time? How can I reflect? Okay? And then also the other positive of doing those things live is that you pretty much learn from the live markets and you get time to sit back at the end of the day, at the end of the trading session, to reflect, to go through the data during the day, and to pretty much find out the reasons why that trade maybe failed, or was it a valid trade, was it a wrong trade, and to pretty much reflect. In backtesting, you're just mindlessly clicking buttons, next trade, next trade, next trade, next trade, next trade. You don't even journal them, you don't even look at them, and then at the end you're like, okay, positive performance, let's go live trading, and then you get slapped, right? So pretty much getting towards the conclusion of this video, there is an amazing quote said by Jesse Livermore, a massive trading legend. Only the game can teach you the game. And I was reading about him and even the Market Wizards books, and I heard that quote and I was like, I didn't really get it at that time, but now after 5 years of experience and actually only seeing success within the last like 1.5 to 2 years, after spending 4 years, 3 to 4 years just going through all these cycles, I really see what he meant, because it's only the game, which is pretty much the game of trading, and the game of trading is not backtesting and paper trading. Trading is getting into the market and trading, executing, okay? And then only that game and your own pain is also going to teach you the game, as it is with everything in life. And the true discoveries you're going to make about yourself and about the market are going to be through those live executed trades. My trading shifted to 180 degrees when I actually stopped backtesting, when I actually stopped paper trading, and I just told myself, okay, I'm just gonna start playing the game. I'm just going to cut all that backtesting crap, and I'm going to take my edge, and I'm just going to spend 6 months just trading it live. Yes, it's gonna take time. It's not gonna be like backtesting where you can go through 6 months in one day. It's gonna take time. You're gonna suffer the impatience of waiting for those setups to develop on a weekly and a daily basis. You're gonna suffer the emotions of waiting for that setup to develop. You're gonna suffer the emotions of actually taking a loss or even taking a win, getting puffed or getting down, right? You are gonna suffer through all of those things, and you really have to go through those things in order to become a profitable trader in the real markets, not in the backtesting markets. And if I have somebody ask me, Iliya, how can I learn, what is the best way to learn? What is the best way to become a profitable trader? Right now, with my current mindset and after experiencing myself, all right, because this is all about me sharing what I learned with you so you can avoid the mistakes that I did in the past, my tip will be, just dump backtesting, stop playing the backtesting games, stop playing the paper trading games, and just go in the live markets. Journal every single one of the trades that you're taking. Journal every single one of the trades that you're missing, or maybe you hesitate, all right? Build your trades magazine, build your live trading journal. And then of course, as you go through that process, you are also going to learn about your own edge, about your own strategy, and about your own self. Because again, remember, the findings, those key little findings, those key little tunings, I don't know, right? Those little fine tunings that you're gonna add to your strategy, they're not gonna come from a YouTube video that you watch or like just magically appear out of nowhere. No, in trading, there is no like a ping, an aha moment that just makes you profitable. It is a gradual process of live trading, learning from every single trade, and that at the end starts compounding, because at first you're gonna lose, but then the more you lose, the more you learn, all right? And if you reflect properly, if you of course then reflect on your trades, if you add new rules, if you stop avoiding the mistakes, and if you start actually doing the things that work, right? All of a sudden you go from losses and the curve starts exponentially growing, okay? And that is pretty much the way to go. So right now I have a call to action to yourself. I want you to stop the backtesting games, and for the next 6 months, I just want you to deposit a small live, again, not financial advice, by the way, disclaimer, right? But I would love for you, I advise you to deposit either a small live account, right? A sum into a live account that is again not too big that you're afraid of losing, but is also not too small that you can even throw it on the street, right? Or buy a challenge that is again not very big but also not very small, something that you can afford, and just start playing the game. Okay, pick that one mentor, pick that one strategy, and just start executing it. Stop backtesting, stop paper trading, stop preparing, stop learning. It's time to actually go into the market and develop that intuition. Because profitable traders are not profitable because of their edge. They're profitable because of their experience, which they have gained through playing the game. So journal every single trade, journal your emotions as well, reflect on everything that happens, and just keep improving. And this goes without saying, but just don't be dumb. Don't right now go in the market and take 10 random trades and then just blame it on the market and blame it on me that I told you to do this, okay? Be professional, take it seriously, right? Just follow your plan, just journal the trades and take responsibility. Don't blame it on the mentor, don't blame it on the market, blame it on yourself, because you are the one to take the blame. And the moment you actually take control of your own destiny, of your own trading performance, of your own trading business, that is when things start actually going in your favor. So I really promise you, 1 to 2 months of live trading and doing what I just said, journaling, reflecting, learning, okay, can put you 10 times ahead, 10 times more ahead than what you would achieve even with 1 year of watching videos, backtesting and preparing. I lost so much time preparing, watching, backtesting, thinking of different strategies that I can trade instead of just going into the market, playing the game, going through that pain, all right, and pretty much learning how to be a trader. And again, trading, is 90% psychology and just 10% technicals, okay? But with backtesting, with all these things, you're just focused on the technicals. And the thing that pretty much stops 90% of traders and does not allow them to succeed is emotions. Patience, impatience, FOMO, hesitation, fear, and all of those things you're going to experience about yourself when you actually go live trading. And through reflection, improvement, iteration, and actually taking those hits to the chin a lot of times, you're pretty much gonna become invincible. Okay? So that's the message of this video. Let me know if it resonated with you. Let me know if you're gonna take action. Let me know if you want to see more of those. I wish you good luck in your trading. Take it seriously. Go live in the market. Start learning from the market itself, because remember, only the game and your own pain can teach you the game.